Devastating solar storms. You spend more time on Netflix than you do with your family, and we answer some of your questions from the mailbag. Welcome to another episode of the Gideon's Tactical Show. Well, welcome back, folks. It's another week here at the Gideon's Tactical Show, and I am super excited for what we're going to be talking about today. Just some food for thought concepts that we're going to think about, discuss, and then I want to answer some of your guys' questions. You know, now a couple weeks into the Gideon's Tactical Show, kind of getting a feel for it. You know, we're really being able to fine-tune what we're going to do here and just have a blast. Looking forward to doing some interviews with some guest people in the near future. Crazy stories from doing a 100-mile run in just over a day. Somebody, a friend of mine has done that. We want to interview them. We have somebody who lived through the Iraq War in Kuwait in 1991, and just some of those experiences. And we're really excited for some of the guests that we're going to be having in weeks to come, as well as just topics and things. So before we jump into solar storms, and I want to talk about that because this is based off of a news article, a real threat that we need to be prepared for. But before we do that, just want to hit a quick promo here for you guys. Don't forget about our Knockaround Sunglass affiliate. Links in the description below. Today I'm wearing my Fast Lanes polarized right there. Lots of different cuts for the whole family, styles, custom shop, all super inexpensive. Been around a while. Really happy with it. The whole family has purchased a whole bunch. My parents, my siblings, friends and family as well. I mean, it's really cool to see that Knockaround is connecting with a lot of people here at the channel. So thank you for your support and using those hyperlinks. We get that small kickback. Helps us continue to do what we do. And actually, this coming week, we will be doing a double giveaway. We'll be giving away 2 sets of sunglasses from Knockaround. So stay tuned for that. You'll see a quick video up on how to get entered in a win. We'll draw some people at random coming on later in the week. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, check out those links below and you can see all the different stuff or build your own custom order of Knockaround sunglasses. All right. Well, with that, solar storms. Now, this is based off of Yahoo News. And I saw this and I was like, man, this is a real deal here. It says devastating solar storms which could wipe out communications on Earth and fry power grids is a matter of when, not if, is what the head of Met Office Space Weather Monitoring Center has warned. Wow. And it goes on to talk a little bit that in 1989, 6 million people went without power because of this. Then the worst one on record was a Carrollton event in 1859 knocked out telegraph systems and even set fire to paper in the office. Whoa. So solar storms, they say it's gonna, not a matter of if it'll happen, they're saying it's a matter of when it'll happen. I guess this is based off of ESA's solar orbiting probe. They've sent some new probes to kind of orbit the sun. They're like, dude, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And I want you to really think about this, and this just kind of rolls into what one of the main things for me on why I prep and why I prepare myself is, you know, I'm not really worried about like the zombie apocalypse or, you know, we've been messing around with dinosaurs and, you know, we got our Jurassic Park rescue kit video up live today as well. You know, those type of things, that's all fun and kind of like interesting to think about, but really for me it's like power outages is one of the main concerns that like could really happen, and they're saying it's just a matter of time. And imagine for just a moment if all power goes out at your home and all your neighbors, and let's just say your town, let's say within a 20-mile radius of you, all power is gone. No cell phone towers, your phones don't work, none of that stuff. It is fried toast. No email, no Facebook, no Instagram, no YouTube, nothing. What's going to happen? And the social fabric of our world is going to break down very quickly, in my opinion, unless that is brought back up within like a day or two. You're going to see looting, you're going to see craziness. I mean, imagine like a hurricane catastrophe just on a bigger scale, and particularly if it hits like a whole portion of a country, regardless if it's in Europe, you know, like any of the places you guys watch worldwide, but I'm thinking here in the States, you know, even if just my state, if I live in the western part of the United States, western part of the United States goes black and it might be out for a week or two, it's going to get nuts, and I'm going to have to provide for my family and protect my family. So that's really something I just want to give you food for thought. They say it's going to happen, so just prepare. It may not happen in our lifetime. It could. It might, you know, be something that only happens for a day or two, and we're all good to go, and power comes back on, or it could be weeks or months before your power's back up. Do you have enough food? Do you have the proper gear to not only protect yourself and defend yourself, but also provide for yourself? If you had to possibly hunt rabbits and squirrels, we have tons of rabbits around. Do I have something that I could easily hunt and catch rabbits with if I had to help augment my food supply? I have a dry food kit that will help my family for a while. Water, I have water kits that are already packed, ready to go, that I could live off of for a while with my family. So just some simple preparedness. You don't have to go dig a bunker and, stockpile billions of rounds and, have bazookas and missile launchers and, have a tank turret, hidden in your roof. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying that to be prepared and think through that and talk about it with your family, have the medical supplies, if you have people on medication, have backup supplies of that in case it's a while before that happens. Don't rely on, refrigerators. Just things to think about, folks, because they do say it's happened before, okay? It has happened before. Thank God it really hasn't happen in large areas or when we were so reliant on technology. We are so reliant on technology now that an EMP or solar storm is going to be devastating. It will be devastating to a lot of people, and I just want you guys to be ready for it, and that when the power comes back on, it wasn't a big deal to you and it didn't ruin your life, whereas it could ruin other people's lives or end other people's lives in a catastrophe like that. So food for thought, think about that. Maybe do a little research on ways you can prepare for that, particularly solar storms or just power outages in general. All right, this other one is really depressing, this kind of news story, just topic I want to bring up that and the reason that I want to do some of these news stories and things like this, and I want to do positive news stories as well, I'm looking for some good, reliable sites that I can pull uplifting, encouraging news stories, but these two in particular, because it encourages me to stay focused and to maybe modify some of my behavior, and I hope it will do that for you as well by giving you the information and really rethinking some of the ways you spend your life. Now with our last segment, about solar storms and power outages and that type of thing, and how to better prepare for that. Maybe you just have a game plan and think through that as a family, but also with this one, that we spend more time on Netflix than we do bonding with our kids. This is off of Money-ish, a website, and this is based off of some recent studies that they have done, and they divided the amount of subscribers that are on Netflix by the amount of hours watched on Netflix, and they came up with basically 1 hour and 11 minutes each day of subscribers on Netflix, to people who subscribe to Netflix watching Netflix. On average, they watch an hour and 11 minutes of Netflix is what they say, versus two different studies that suggest that families only spend between 34 and 37 minutes of quality, undistracted time. In other words, actually bonding together and catching up without gadgets. That means without the TV on, without a cell phone in your hand, iPad, playing something in the background, just undistracted, working out, exercising, spending time with family, talking with the kids, playing catch in the backyard, sitting out, hearing how the day was, eating a meal together without, something going on, some sort of technology. Only 34 to 37 minutes a day is on average. So if you subscribe to Netflix, they say that there's a high probability that you're watching more Netflix than you are spending quality time with the fam. And that's really a gut check for me, because when I thought about that, I was like, that's not every day, but I would say that that's half of my life I would probably spend of undistracted. Undistracted is the key. All right, you may be like, no, we do tons of stuff together as a family. Yeah, but are you having a TV show playing in the background? Are you having the news play? Are you having music going? Like all that type of stuff. And maybe music isn't quite as big a deal, but our technology is an iPad, a phone, or a TV, computer on, more so than it is not with the kids particularly, and with your spouse or girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. You got to really think through that, and that's really challenging me to change some of my personal behaviors, not only in how I take care of myself. It's like, do I sit there and watch another episode of a show, or do I go, hop on the bike and work out? Or do I spend time playing Hot Wheels with my son, or do I sit there watching, a newscast on my iPad, and that's a real gut check for me personally, and I'm sure I'm not alone in that. So I just want to kind of give that food for thought, that feedback. Think about your life and think about simple ways that you can cut out technology. So like as an example at our family, what I tended to do for a while was around the dinner table, take my iPad, I would have a newscast that we like to watch, playing in the background, and we'd be talking kind of, but we'd be mostly distracted kind of listening to what was being said. After my wife and I talked about that recently, and she's like, that really bothers me. I was like, you know what, you're totally right, it's distracting me. I have made it a point to, and I'm not perfect, but cut it down from like 6 days a week to like maybe once a week that actually happens, and otherwise the TV's on mute and the iPads and phones are down, and we're just sitting there talking, eating dinner or lunch or whatever, and mealtime is a big important part of that. So that was just a simple way that we as a family have started to do that, and me making conscious efforts to go, okay, do I have some sort of technology going on, or can I just focus on playing with my son for a while, or going for a walk with him, or doing whatever without something going on. And I don't want him to grow up that way either, because that's not how I grew up. I wasn't addicted to TV. My parents controlled the amount of TV I could watch to like an hour a day all growing up basically, and then the rest of the time it was like go out there and play, and then maybe weekends was a little bit more, but during the week, I mean, we had like maybe 1 hour, so we could watch one show one time, and then go figure out your life, go read, go play puzzles, go build Legos, go ride your bike, go rollerblade, whatever. So this is my thought, food for thought. It's out there. I bet you a lot of you that subscribe to Netflix probably could agree that you watch more Netflix than you do spend time with your family, and I'm just encouraging you to maybe think about how you can fix that situation and spend a little bit more time with family, undistracted by the gadgets. All right, before we jump into the mailbag, just a quick reminder that you guys help pour fuel in the gas tank that helps this channel continue to go. Take time away from family right now. Family's doing stuff upstairs. I'm coming down here into the studio to film this video for you guys to have this fun and entertaining part of a weekend. So I thank you guys for enabling that through the hyperlinks. So don't forget about Blade HQ, and Amazon links below. We really appreciate it when you guys purchase through those links, regardless if it's items that you see in a particular video or any other. It really helps us out, continues to not only get the gear and purchase the gear, because I purchase about 60% of what we review here, but also just helps to justify coming down here than going and working another part-time job on the side of my full-time job. So thank you guys. It makes it continue to work, makes this continue to go by using those hyperlinks provided right below. Really appreciate you guys. Rock. Okay, so we're gonna hit two quick mailbag questions here. This first one, this is hilarious. Okay, so Nick H. Deep, that is 6 Leatherworks. Nick H. Deep, 6 Leatherworks, apparently has been asking me this question over and over again and got really frustrated that I wasn't answering it. So this is in response to this question. I told myself I wasn't going to watch your channel anymore because you won't answer my mailbag question, and he's implying like you know what it is, that I've asked 4 or 5 times. Then I decided to turn the other cheek. All right, Nick. So I'm sure you're probably being facetious there. Your question that you keep asking me is, how do you say, and I'll bust one out here, Bowie knife or Bowie knife? How do I personally say it? Here I have, guys, you've seen this in a ton of videos. This Prather, I believe is how you say it. Jeff Prather War Bowie is just insane. I'm getting this shipped off right now over to AZ Welke to do a sheath before I do the final review on it. I am addicted to this knife. Okay, so this would be like a Bowie kind of feeling design. I say Bowie. That's what I say. Some people say Bowie, or other ways. I say Bowie. Give me that Bowie knife. Hey, have you seen that Bowie knife? I like Jim Bowie. That's how I say it. Ooey Bowie. Bowie, that's how I say it. So that's how I say B-O-W-I-E. That's how I pronounce it, Nick. I hope that answers your question. I hope you don't feel slighted now for having answered it after all this time. All right, this next question comes from Gabriel Ramos. And Gabriel asks, what is your favorite grind? Great question. Now, there are different grinds for different purposes. Hollow grinds, are great for really good slicing, possibly combat knives, depending on how you're going to, deploy it. Full flat is great for food prep and slicing. Saber grinds are really strong. You got Scandi grinds, which are great for outdoor stuff. You have chisel grinds that are ultra strong. I mean, there's a lot of different grinds out there. But if you were to ask me if you could only pick one, you're like, one knife, what grind you're going to make it and what grind are you going to do? For me, it's a high flat or high saber grind. This Hogue just happens to have one like it. So it's more than 2/3, preferably 3/4 of the blade is the grind, and then it goes to a flat. The reason for me that I prefer this more than any other is that I'm getting strength. I'm still getting that high grind for almost a full flat, like slicing capability, but then I still get a little bit of strength. I can have a clip on there and a swedge if I need to, and the tips tend to be a little bit stronger, and it just works for me. It's a good blending of basically a full flat grind and like a heavy, you know, like tactical knife saber grind. You know, that's like a low grind. It's kind of a blending of both of those. You get some strength, but you also get some good slicing. And if I had to choose one grind, that is my favorite grind, regardless if it is a survival knife, a big woods chopper, or, you know, a pocket knife. If I had to choose, that is the ideal grind for me, and that's the type of grind I would choose on a knife if I was to make my own. Well, there you have it, folks. I hope that this video has been fun, entertaining, worth value to you. Don't forget again about the mailbag. So if you want your questions answered in an upcoming video, put hashtag mailbag, ask your questions, and get outside the box, guys. Let's start asking some interesting, different, deep questions. It's always a lot of fun to hear your guys' thoughts and what you like to hear me respond by. I always appreciate your guys' feedback, particularly with this Gideonstactical show. If you guys come up with ideas of different topics you want me to talk about, different segments, those type of things, love to hear your guys' thoughts on that as well. Let's keep the conversation going and just grow this. I really feel like this has some legs to it. I'm having fun doing it. It makes me think outside the box as well. So really cool. Don't forget about checking us out on Instagram, Facebook, all the social media, throwing up stuff there all the time. If you're not a current subscriber, I invite you to subscribe and become part of the GT family. We're throwing up videos like this every single week. And you current subscribers and followers, you guys rock. Share this video. Send this around to friends and family. We might get some more people into the GT family and just grow this thing. And thank you guys for your continued support and all that you do. Always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.